Philadelphia 76ers have fired coach Doc Rivers after 3 seasons. The Sixers were eliminated in the semifinals to the Boston Celtics in 7 games. The Sixers, they were up 3-2 and they could not get it done on their home court. They were up going by 2 going into the fourth quarter and got outscored 24-13 in the fourth in game 6 and lost that game, and they just did not make the right adjustments to get the win, really. Everybody wants to blame, Joel Embiid didn't show up, James Harden didn't show up, but at the end of the day, Doc Rivers didn't make the proper adjustments, put his team in position to win. Boston had 15 3-pointers, 15 in game 6. How many 3-pointers did they have in game 7? 15 again. He did not defend the 3-point line. He didn't make adjustments. There's so many things that you can touch on. You got Joel Embiid, who's your MVP, 7 foot. This guy's a beast. He can dominate. But you're letting Joel Embiid roam around outside on the 3-point line half the game. That's your job as the coach. Joel, get down on the block and dominate these guys. Dominate Al Horford. And if you're not going to do it, get him out of the game. Who are you going to blame there? That's your job, Doc. And Doc did not make the proper adjustments. You got PJ Tucker. PJ Tucker is your starter. How is he your starter? This guy is 38 years old, averaging 3.5 points per game on the season. That's not a mistake, guys. 3.5 points per game on the season. 75 games. In the first round, he averaged 3 points. In the second round, he averaged 6. That's your job. How are you starting somebody that's averaging 3.5 points? This is not the 2000s anymore, when you can get away with 90 points a game or 95. You got to put up points, and you got a starter averaging 3.5 points? Who are you going to blame for that? I blame Doc 100%. He did not get it done. They had their opportunities. This was a golden opportunity. Up 3-2, going home in Philly to close it out, and you didn't get it done. And to be perfectly honest, I was completely surprised that the Sixers even hired Doc Rivers. He should have never been hired. Honestly, if you look back at his career, he started with Orlando, 5 seasons there, got the boot, never got out of the first round with Orlando, then got hired by Boston. First 3 rounds did complete crap over there. First 3 seasons did complete crap in Boston. Then they ended up getting, Ray Allen, Kevin Garnett. They had Paul Pierce, drafted Rajon Rondo. They had Kendrick Perkins. They had a really good team. 3 Hall of Famers, a young Rondo, and they won the championship in 07 and 08. And everybody wants to say Doc Rivers, championship coach. Yes, he is the championship coach, but you can make an argument, and a big argument, that he underachieved in Boston. They won 1 title in those 5 years when they had that squad. I think that's a joke. They should have had at least 2 titles, maybe even 3. With that kind of team that they had, they should have been able to win more. And so I think you can easily make the argument that he underachieved. Then they kind of fell apart towards the end. And then the Clippers, and they were in their own panic mode at that time, hired Doc Rivers, traded a first-round pick. That's not a mistake either. They traded a first-round pick. That's, get that clear. They traded a first-round pick for Doc Rivers, and they thought they were going to bring him in with CP3, Blake Griffin, DeAndre Jordan, and he's going to take them to the promised land. Couldn't get them out of the semifinals either. Never made a conference finals with the Clippers. Blew 2 3-1 leads. Then, he got fired. You can say it was a mutual partying, and, he walked away. But they were going to fire him, and just in respect for Doc, they just, said it was a mutual. But he was gone. He got canned. And then I thought it was done for Doc. He had a good career. He got a championship. His career was over. And the Sixers jump in quickly and hire this guy. And I was there when the news broke. I was laughing so hard that the Sixers are going to regret this. They should have never hired him. He's not the right coach for the Sixers. The Sixers already had a good team. They did not need to hire Doc Rivers to kind of bring them from, bottom tier to the playoffs. They were already a playoff team with Joel, Ben Simmons. They already had a squad. So Doc Rivers should have never been hired there. And Doc honestly should be happy. He's able to fleece how much millions from the Clippers and the 76ers and just move on to the sunset. That's it. Like, this was the absolute right decision. Absolute right decision to fire Doc Rivers. He needed to go. I'm so glad the Sixers didn't waste another year and give him one more year, because that would have been a waste. Let him go, move on, and try to retool. You got an MVP in Joel Embiid. You can probably re-sign Harden now that Doc is gone. You got Maxey. Get rid of Tobias Harris. Think you got to move on from him. Tucker, get rid of him or put him on the bench. He cannot be your starter. He cannot be your starter. And I just want to touch on, everyone wants to talk about how great of a coach Doc Rivers is and Hall of Fame coach and all this crap. Stop this nonsense. For the last 10 years, he has not got a team to the NBA Finals. Now, let's not even talk about the NBA Finals. He hasn't got them to the conference finals, the Sixers or the Clippers. So stop it. Not 1 year, not 2 years, 10 years. How many blown games, blown series, losses in Game 7? Stop this. He's won 1,000 games. Yes, he's won 1,000 games. What is his winning percentage? His winning percentage is 59%. 59. And in the playoffs, it's 51%. So let's just stop all of this. Look, he's been in some fortunate situations. 2 really good seasons with Boston in terms of regular season wins. But Doc Rivers is not that great of a coach. He's an above average coach. This should be the end of it. And 2 funny things just to kind of, before we end here is like Doc Rivers is like, hey, if the right sources say if the right opportunity arises, Doc Rivers is willing to take the job. Of course he's willing to take $7 or $8 million a year again to do nothing. Please, no, do not hire Doc Rivers. You're going to regret this, any of the NBA franchises. And secondly, Doc Rivers has a history of not taking responsibility. He's always got these passive-aggressive comments and just shides at his other old teams and things like that to make blame on why he wasn't successful or why he didn't win Game 7 or why he blew leads. And even he did this as parting, and he had a parting note to the 76er organization and community. He wrote, "We got a lot done in a short amount of time." That was his quote on his Instagram page. It's like, Doc, what are you talking about? What did you get done? In the 3 years prior to you coming in, they won 146 games in the regular season. In your 3 seasons, they won 152. So not much improvement. 2 games per season is not huge improvement or even marginal improvement, honestly. And in the 3 years you were there, they got bounced out in the semifinals. And then in the 3 years prior to you coming in, they got bounced out in the semifinals twice and once in the first round. So what improvement are you talking about? Stop it. Take responsibility. It didn't work out and move on. Be grateful that you got 3 years and how much million from the Sixers. Move on. That's it. It's done. This was absolute the right decision. The 76er franchise can move on now, get another coach that's more capable and actually can lead with an MVP candidate to the conference finals and hopefully the NBA finals. But this is it. Absolutely right decision without a doubt. No question about it.